some important news for today. First of all, Prime Minister today is in Japan. Modi ji is on 2-day visit to Japan. Today, Prime Minister Modi and Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba both are going to conduct 15th India-Japan Summit, annual summit. And Japan is going to invest 10 trillion yens. Coming to, in dollars, it is around $68 billion. In dollars, it is around $68 billion. So, Japanese foreign minister postponed his visit to America. Actually, today he should be in America. Even Japanese foreign minister postponed his visit of America. Addressing the India-Japan Joint Economic Forum, Prime Minister Modi said that India is a springboard for the Japanese businesses to the global south. As you all know, Subhash Chandra Bose is a great connect between India and Japan. After independence, as you all know that Japan was bombarded with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. To amuse the children of Japan as a goodwill gesture, or the then Prime Minister Nehru have sent 2 elephants to the Japanese zoo to entertain the children in Japan. One elephant was named as Indira. Few years back, Indira died. In the year 1952, India-Japan Peace Treaty was signed. India established diplomatic relations with Japan. Japan is the highest provider of ODA to India. Japan is the highest provider of official or overseas development assistance to India. In fact, India and Japan, they are the members in G4 for UNSC reforms. India, Japan, Germany and Brazil. These 4 countries wanted expansion of UNSC and UNSC reforms. These 4 countries aimed expansion of UNSC and UNSC reforms. Apart from that, India and Japan share their partnership in Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. India, America, Australia, Japan are in Quad. Apart from that, we also conduct joint exercises like Malabar, and we also share some commonalities. Right now, America is pressurizing not only India but also Japan. Japan was made to sign a deal with America that Japan is going to invest $550 billion in America for tariff concessions from America. So, in this era, India is trying to diversify its trade partners. And Modi ji said that from metro to manufacturing, from semiconductors to startups, India-Japan partnership in every sector became symbol of mutual trust. The 2 prime ministers now are conducting 15th annual bilateral summit, and India and Japan are going to have much more cooperation in semiconductors and AI, artificial intelligence. Japan needs technical expertise and Japan is in demographic deficit. Now Japan needs Indian experts, Indian engineers to help Japanese industries. And India-Japan relations are also very crucial in the modern era, as Japan is very famous for technology, particularly bullet trains, Mumbai-Ahmedabad corridor and other things. So we are doing, India and Japan are partnering in bullet trains and infrastructure corridors. And more importantly, Japan is supporting with soft loans, various projects with soft loans. The greatest success story of India-Japan relations is Maruti Suzuki. Even before 1991, the Maruti Suzuki project is highly successful. The Suzuki company belongs to Japan. And apart from that, if you see Toyota, Honda, if you see topmost automobile industries and also topmost electronic goods industries, we can find some of the Japanese topmost sectors have their presence in India. India-Japan relations are very crucial. They are in the crucial juncture. The former Prime Minister of Japan, Mr. Shinzo Abe, is very close to India. In fact, he died few years back, and he used to tell about freedom of arc and prosperity from India to Japan. Freedom of arc and prosperity from India to Japan. So Japan is very, very crucial for India. Coming back from Japan, Modi is going to SCO summit to China, and he's going to stay in China from August 31st to September 1st. There he's going to meet Xi Jinping and possibly Putin also. So coming back, the other important news that is coming up is America. Student visas. America is imposing more regulations and more restrictions on student visas. America is imposing more regulations and more restrictions on student visas, F1 visas. So they are going to restrict those visas for only for 4 years. Earlier, many Indians and foreign students go to America with dollar dreams. They want to study in America. They aim to get a job in America. But now, it's very difficult for the extension of student visas to H1B job visas. So, many of the Indian students, particularly 16 lakh students foreign students study in America, through which American industries get around $50 billion as revenue. And now, around $9 billion are being contributed by Indian students in America. But the thing is, now students are diversifying their educational avenues. They are planning to go to Canada, New Zealand, China, UK, Australia, and other countries instead of America. So they feel that America is not a stable option now. There's a lot of uncertainty, and US Homeland Security Department said that this stricter visa restrictions aim to avoid misuse of visas by students. Foreign students should never become forever students. Foreign students should never become forever students. That is their aim. The other important news that is coming up is US official calls conflict Ukraine Modi's war. A day after America imposed 25% additional tariffs on Indian goods as penalty for India purchasing Russian oil, Scott Bessent, US Treasury Secretary, said that I thought India could be one of the earlier deals. They kind of tapped us along in the terms of negotiations. Then there is also aspect of Russian crude oil purchases, which they have been profiteering on. And American trade advisor to the President Donald Trump, everybody in the US loses because of what India is doing. The taxpayers lose because we have got to fund Modi's war. We have got to fund Modi's war. So they are not happy that India is purchasing Russian oil. So America is criticizing India. But the other side, one Mr. famous economist, Marxist economist in America, his name is Richard Wolff. A famous economist, Marxist economist, his name is Richard Wolff. He said that America imposing tariffs on India, America pressurizing India is nothing but a mouse eating an elephant. A mouse eating an elephant. What do you mean by mouse eating an elephant? Mouse is a small creature. Elephant is a very large creature. India is like an elephant and America is like a mouse. India is a very strong economy and the entire world is looking up India. But America is trying to play a game as if Donald Trump was the world's hardest guy. Okay. He wanted to show that he's the world's hardest guy and he's not. He's inflexible. So, American economists said that it is America's fault. It is America's fault to impose so much of tariffs on Indian goods. But unfortunately, from textiles to jewelry, many of our sectors got affected. And Tirupur in Tamil Nadu, Surat in Gujarat, Noida in NCR, National Capital Region, all these areas got affected and thousands of part-time and informal employees and formal employees lost their jobs because of that. They lost their jobs because of that. This is other thing that is coming up. And next important news that is coming up is Prime Minister's Jan Dhan Yojana completed 11 years. The PM Jan Dhan Yojana, the world's largest financial inclusion program, has completed 11 years, marking what the government described as a transformative impact on India's financial landscape. Launched by the Prime Minister Modi exactly on August 28, 2014, Prime Minister's Jan Dhan Yojana has opened over 56.16 crore bank accounts. 56.16 crore bank accounts. And with the deposits now standing at 2.68 lakh crores. With the deposits now standing at 2.68 lakh crores. So this is very important news. Next important news, South Korea to ban mobile phones in school classrooms. It's obvious we should ban it, right? South Korea passed a bill to ban the use of mobile phones and other digital devices in school classrooms nationwide as concerns grow about the impact of heavy social media use among the youth. The ban, which will take effect from March next year, makes South Korea the latest country to restrict smartphones and social media among minors. Smartphones and social media among minors. Next, Rajasthan becomes the first state to implement Supreme Court's orders on stray dogs. You all know that initially Supreme Court gave an order that all stray dogs should go to shelter homes and no social activists should come and obstruct. Then again Supreme Court said that after immunization and vaccination sterilization, again stray dogs can be sent to the places where they have captured. Following the Supreme Court's directive on stray dogs, the Rajasthan government has taken a lead in managing the dogs more systematically. The Department of Autonomous Governance has issued stricter instructions to all municipal corporations, councils, and municipalities making complaints with the Stray Animal Birth Control (ABC) Stray Animal Birth Control (ABC) rules 2023 mandatory. There are certain rules with respect to animal birth control called ABC rules 2023. Animal birth control rules. Under the new guidelines issued by the Supreme Court of India, feeding point for dogs will be marked in every ward and locality. Under the new guidelines, feeding points for dogs will be marked in every ward and locality, with urban bodies directed to coordinate with resident welfare associations and animal welfare organizations. Even in case for rabies, arrangement for food and water will be ensured at feeding points. At feeding points or feeding spots. At feeding points and feeding spots. Coming back, the other important news. 2 terrorists, soldier killed during operations in Jammu Kashmir. 2 terrorists were killed during an infiltration bid in Bandipora in northern Kashmir. So this is news which you should know because in Kashmir already there were floods. Vaishno Devi Yatra also halted. Pilgrims died. In spite of all these things, there was a lot of Jammu Kashmir, there was a infiltration.